favorite plays on the total sides, props, exotics, and with Jason and Ben. Something custom can't console that, but console felino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and
I was a little tardy. I found this lobster on the floor, and I'm like, he belongs in my mouth. He's tasty. Welcome to Wanna Bet. It was not a 3 lobster night last night. We were on that game. We had a beat on that game. A couple things didn't come through. A lot of stuff did come through. We appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in. A lot to get to this weekend. We've got domestic soccer leagues back in Europe. We'll be on the Bundesliga and the Premiership. We've got around-the-clock college hoops, which we want to get to quickly here because some of those games are tipping off. We've got a full slate in the NBA. And, yeah, we want to get a jump on some NFL plays as well because the value is already dissipating. Welcome to Wanna Bet. We give you our best plays of the day since yesterday's show. Yeah, because we do this 7 days a week. Tomorrow, now my son's basketball schedule has changed again, so I think we might be able to do one tomorrow at 10 and not do a late-night Friday one, which gives us more of a chance to get into some of those NBA and college games that we wouldn't have a full line on by 11 o'clock tonight. So that's the plan, early plan for the weekend, Sunday, 11 as always. And Beltway Ben, let the people know how we did last night, please, fine sir. Yeah, look, we told you guys I got money on the Texans plus 240 on the money line when that got the plus 6 and the plus 240 on the money line. We jumped that. We played around with the lines there to be a little safer with the Texans and the under. Look, if you played the Josh Allen interception with just the regular Bills team total, you were over plus 200. We told you guys there's ladder possibilities there. We got almost what we needed out of Woody Marks. It is kind of staggering to me, Beltway Ben, that he dominates on short yardage through the between the 20s. And he's getting most of the game over 5 yards a carry. And then they take him off the field for Nick Chubb after he carries the team down into the red zone for 2 drives. I mean, it's a Buffalo defense that had allowed 17 rushing touchdowns. It's clear who your better back is. It's clear who your better power back is. Oh, yeah, and the fans go batshit crazy when you bring in the jumbo offensive lineman. Like, I'm sitting there when it's like, first and goal from the 7 thinking 4 cracks of Woody gets this done. 3 cracks of Woody probably gets this done. We got no cracks of Woody.
Yeah, pretty damn frustrating. And on top of that, off of that point, in a game where they were winning and it was pretty tight and they were up a little bit, he had 1 carry for 1 yard in the fourth quarter. That's not something you could ever imagine, especially in that spot. I'm glad that to start the second half, they got Nick Chubb the ball out with open space in front of him because he's the more explosive back, I guess. I just don't understand the thought process. They end up winning the game. So they know best, but the lack of usage of Woody Marks didn't make sense. And it wasn't a bad night, right? He went over his regular yards. He cashed us a few different ways, but we also lost. So again, we were talking a lot yesterday, like, how are we going to play him? What are we going to view him? If he has a big night, he's Hall of Fame. He's not Hall of Fame or the Hall of Shame. It's kind of right in the middle.
Yeah, he's in purgatory. Also, look, I had that game pegged. I told you guys, Josh Allen's going to be under all kinds of duress, early downs, late downs. He only really looked to run for a first down one time in that whole game, Ben, which blows my mind because they got a lucky run from Cook and they got a lucky screen pass on 4th and forever. And that was their whole freaking offense all night long. So it went how I thought it would go, but 5 runs for total for Allen, and really 4 of them weren't even really, right? 1 was a short yardage tush-push type thing. 3 were him kind of running for his life and barely getting back to the line of scrimmage. And then he looked to run on a 3rd and long one time, and he picked it up. I'm shocked it only happened one time, given that the game flowed exactly how I thought it would flow.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was going to live bet him because I didn't take him pregame, but he had that big run. I'm like, all right, he knows what's at stake now. He's going to start running a bunch, and he just never really did.
Even his boy Fitzpatrick at halftime's like, hey, Brady, you might want to run the quarterback. Like, what are we doing here? Your offensive line's getting murdered. Like, why don't you go heavy and run the quarterback? But anyway, so yeah, I hope you're on Texans money line with me. All right, first down. Let's get to some college hoops because there are games kicking off everywhere. Three-way parlay souffle here for you, Beltway Ben. We are going to take Butler on the money line against South Carolina. We're going to kick Doug Gottlieb in the nuts again. He got us in Minnesota the other night. I don't think he's getting us twice in a row. But look, that Yale line, look, I played it at minus 14.5 when it opened. It's up around 18.5. We're going to take Yale, Green Bay down to 13.5. And we're going to keep riding Austin P unders. We haven't talked about it a ton on this show. I've written about Austin P, though, over at Hoops HQ, where we're with our buddy Seth Davis. There's a lot going on here. Let's start with the Austin P of it all. We're taking that total up to 154.5. Do I think it stays under 143.5, which is where it is now? Yeah, I think it's got a chance to stay under 140 because I don't know that either team's getting to 70 here. Austin P is an elite defensive team. They rebound well. They play at a snail's pace outside the top 300 the last 2 years in possessions per game. They generally dictate to the other team. Now, Tulsa wants to run and gun. I don't think they're going to be able to do it here against an Austin P team that's going to slow it down. Austin P games are under 4 straight to start this year. They're going under by 9 points per game. Yeah, you heard that right. Austin P, since the start of 2023, is 21-6-1 to the under in non-conference games. And again, we're taking that up to 154.5. Green Bay sucks. This would be a tough spot against Green Bay, against Yale, best team probably in the Ivy League. Yale 10-6-1 against non-conference opponents against the spread since the start of last year. Green Bay is 14-20 against the spread in non-conference games against with Gottlieb at the helm. There are 10-17-2 against the spread after a loss. They did lose to Minnesota. They just didn't cover. They also haven't played in about a week. I think they're going to be off, and I think Yale, again, people don't talk about Yale till the tournament. Like, Yale does a lot of damage in the Ivy League. Yale's a legitimate side. And then, look, this Butler-South Carolina game is a bit of a coin flip. But South Carolina, Beltway Ben, their last 18 games as a dog, they've won just one of those 18 games. Butler's last 10 games as a favorite, 10-0 straight up. This line's gotten a little funky. It's moved. They're playing this tournament in West Virginia. It's kind of a home game for Butler. I think they're the better team. I don't really like what I've seen out of South Carolina. And this is another one where I think Butler's going to be able to score on them at will. So that parlay will get you plus 259. If you want to throw my UNC Wilmington Seahawks in there as well, against Radford, boy, I thought long and hard about it. If you like UNC on the money line or UNC Wilmington, like I said, mine at laying the, I think you can get it as low as 4.5. I'd be with you.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with college basketball here. We're going to do a parlay as well. Oh, no, we're not going Jared Goff. That is for later.
Oh,
also not me.
You're giving away my overtime,
Yeah.
Beltway Ben. How dare you?
Yeah,
Listen, we got a lot going on here, folks.
No. Here, we're going with Kentucky over 86.5 points, Virginia over 65.5, and the Wake Forest Memphis game over 154.5, which you can get a plus 102. I moved that number to 154.5. I had it at 150. I wanted to move it up to get us.
That's
plus
funny.
20
We
on the
both
parlay.
moved the number to 154.5 without talking to each other.
That is funny. That is definitely funny. But like, just you know how these books are. They set their set numbers to make sure that they can land on 154 to screw people, as always. But no, I do like that game to go over. We'll start there. So far this season, Memphis has had some struggles offensively, but they should be able to get it going against this Wake team who's playing at a very quick pace. 4 of 5 Wake games have cleared this number. Now, if you look certain areas, they're pretty solid defensively, but they're playing fast, which is allowing a lot of points for opposing teams. Memphis, on the other hand, we know Penny Hardaway's background. We know the struggles he's had at Memphis. Offense really hasn't been an issue for his teams. It's been more on the defensive end. This season so far, they're not scoring a ton of points, but still with that, 2 of their 4 games have gone over this total here. I don't think it'll be an issue between 2 pretty high-powered teams. Penny has got to figure it out. They started the season awfully. Played Purdue pretty tough yesterday, but I do think we'll see a lot of offense here. Both of these teams can score with the best. Now, Kentucky will get to their team total over. Jason talked about it the other day. We know people in the area who watch a lot of these local teams religiously. And Loyola's not very good. And defensively, they have big struggles. Kentucky is going to come into this one angry, and it has to be a bounce back. Like at home, we already know that fan base is starting to turn on Pope in just year two. The team is, has a higher salary than any other team in college basketball. And with that being said, they have not played that way. They're dealing with a number of injuries, but against a Loyola team, Kentucky's 10th or 11th guy is better than Loyola's best. So I do think Kentucky's going to figure it out offensively tonight at home. We've seen them score 100 plus already this season. We need to see it here. And Loyola's given up a lot of points. And this is going to be the toughest matchup they've played this early in the year. So I do think Kentucky scores a ton of points. And then Virginia, over 65.5 points. This is not like your old Virginia. This isn't the Tony Bennett years. Ryan Odom has his team playing at a fast pace. They're scoring a lot of points, and they've added a lot of different guys where they're not the defensive, 56 to 58 game anymore. This is a team that's going to play at a fast pace. They're going to shoot the three well. They'll defend fine, but they're going to play at a quick pace. They're playing Northwestern, who will also play quick. We've seen that in recent years, and they have guys like Martinelli who can really score it. I expect that to be a high-scoring game, but we'll bring them down. So again, for the listeners, Kentucky over 86.5, Virginia over 65.5, and the Memphis Wake Forest alternate over 154.5 at plus 102.
So like I said, everybody's home from college. My son Rocco ran my daughter Chloe to her old high school to hang out, and he didn't bring his key with him, so he's locked out in the driveway. So how do you want to do this, Ben? I gotta take this stuff off and let him in the house. I could make him sit out there, but do you want to do your second down, or do you want to just give out my second? Do you want to just give out my second down? What's better for you?
No, I want you to wait on your second down because I have a play. Well, actually, no, it won't be. I have it for overtime. But no, I'll just give out my second down and go until you get back.
It's only going to take me. Right. This ain't going to take me long.
Yeah. All right.
As soon as my phone rang, I'm like, somebody's locked out of this house.
Now, second down for me, we're going with a rebounding prop in the NBA. We're going to go with Jaime Jaquez over his rebounds, which you can get 6.5. Jaime Jaquez over 6.5 rebounds at minus 130. He's facing a Bulls team that's allowing 50 rebounds per game over their last 6 matchups. That is the third most in the NBA. You look at the injuries that Miami's dealing with. You have Andrew Wiggins. I mean, he's been pretty strong for them on the glass. Nikola Jovic on the bench, but he's been tough for them on the glass as well. It comes off the bench. But it's like 10 boards that you're just giving away with those guys being out. I know Bam has returned, but in games with Bam playing, Jaime hasn't had any issues. 6, 10, 5, 4, 8, 8, 6, and then 5 the other night. Like, he's been able to be aggressive on the glass even when Bam plays. Last game was the first one back. Is Bam going to play 30-plus minutes tonight? Maybe. He played 29 in the last game. I just don't know that he's going to play enough minutes for me to really be worried about it. I know he can go for 10-plus boards a lot. I'm well aware of that. But I still think Jaime is going to have to be aggressive on the glass. Between him and Bam, we could see both of them score double-doubles here. But again, we're getting a fair number, 6.5 at minus 130. Too good for me to pass on. And this is another one where shop around because you're going to find it at minus 160 on some books. But here you can find it at minus 130 on one.
Oh, real quick. Shout out to our buddy Mark Feinsand of The Athletic and of MLB Network. I'm sure you guys are familiar with his work. He was on our radio show yesterday. He gave Warnabet a shout out. We're down to one hoodie remaining, Beltway Ben, because Mark is getting a hoodie. Mark, I will text you to get your address. Mark was all over Woody Mark's ladders. We're sorry, Mark. It was so freaking close. So freaking close. Say something. I'm not sure I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I got you. I just was making sure our audio was all right. Okay. Second down for me, NBA. Are we attacking the Wizards and the Wizards on the boards again and the Wizards defensively again? Damn right. And I got news for you. Tomorrow night, they're in Chicago. I don't care if Chicago plays their G League team. We're going to be fading the Wizards tomorrow as well. How about my Raptors, Beltway, Ben? 9 wins in the last 10 games. You know what the Raptors have done since Yertle the Turtle Pirtle came back from the injured list? They're 7-0. They're 7-0. Now, look, these Friday nights, I don't love them. The league, NBA, League Cup, whatever, they're rip-off of soccer. It makes me a little worried. So we're going to take that Raptors number that's soaring. We're going to take it down to 9.5. We're going to lay 9.5 with the Raptors. Look, I would rather play this Raptors number at 118.5, the number we've been going against the Wizards if you're scoring at home all the time. It's like minus 477 now. And pretty soon, they're moving the team totals up so much, Ben, that like we're going to lose the 1-8, like the 118.5, I think is gone. That's why I wrote it as hard as I did for as long as I could, because now it's almost completely off. Some places it's off the board, and other places again it's like minus 500. So we're going to do the 120.5. Wizards are a deficient defensive team. They have given up over 100 points in almost every game they played. Minnesota stopped shooting the basketball in the second half the other day. They still got the 120. We need 121. And Pirtle against a Wizards team that lacks bigs. I don't know if Sarr's playing or not tonight, but he's been banged up. Our guy, the bag man, Marvin Bagley, he looks like he's toast. They don't have a whole lot going on. Oh, and they're the worst rebounding team in the NBA anyway. So let's get Pirtle 20-plus points and rebounds combined. Like, go look at the box scores. Since he's come back, he only played 20 minutes, then 25 minutes. Since he started playing in the 30s, he's scoring about 18 to 20 a game, and this is a bad defensive team. I think he's good for at least 10 rebounds, which we'll get to in a minute, but I didn't want to play that here because maybe it ends up being 7, maybe it ends up being 8. But again, 8 and 12 gets us home. I would be stunned if he doesn't score 18 to 20 points alone tonight. Like, I'm pretty comfortable with that number. Here we're getting points and rebounds. Washington's 1-7 on the road. 6 of those losses are by 11 points or more. They've allowed 119 points or more in all 7 of their road losses. The Raptors' offense is cooking right now. So that's where we are. We also like Yertle the Turtle, Pirtle, to get a double-double, Beltway Ben, at plus 130. Again, my concern here would be that the Raptors blow them out of the water and maybe his minutes get cut back in the second half. But there's also, I kind of feel like they're still trying to build his stamina up and build his legs up with the time he missed. So, and look, could he get this in the first half? I think he could get, I don't know about 10 rebounds in the first half, but like, I think he could be sitting on like 12 points, 8 rebounds in the first half. I truly do. So that's where we are. And yeah, we'll be attacking the Wizards again tomorrow.
So how do you want to go first, third down? You want me to go first now? How do you want to?
Whatever you think, brother. What do you think? You go first. No, is that a problem or is it not good?
I'll go. I can go first. Let me see. For third down, we're gonna go with Zion Williamson. We are going to play Zion over 28.5 points and rebounds at minus 110. He came back from injury the other night. Had 14 and 6 against Denver, who's one of the better defensive teams in the NBA, and we know what they can do. He also played 29 minutes. I'll expect a few more tonight. Like 29 minutes after sitting out as long as he did tells me they're not as aggressive with that minutes restriction as maybe you expected, because he deals with a ton of injuries. But tonight they're facing Dallas, who has one of the worst defenses in the NBA to this point of the season. They're allowing 123 points per game over their last 6. That's bottom 8. They're also allowing 49.3 rebounds per game, which is bottom 4, fourth worst in the NBA. There's a lot of talk about Zion and his future in New Orleans and maybe getting traded, could potentially go somewhere else. With all that being said, Zion hears this and should want to shut people up. Like, he wants to show people how good he still is. It was never a talent issue with Zion. It's a health issue and dealing with whatever he's dealing with off the court. Now, when you look at before the injury, what he's done: 27-9, 27-10, 11-2 in a weird game, 29-6, and 20-9. I mean, he was going over this regularly, and then in his first game back, he matches up with a tough Denver team, and the New Orleans team had kind of had things going without him. They're not playing great basketball, but when you have guys like Derek Queen starting to take off, Zion has to fit himself in where he can. I do think tonight we'll see him be a little bit more aggressive. I think this will be a game down to the wire because neither the Pelicans or the Mavericks are blowing either one out, in my opinion. I mean, in the NBA, you never know, but this should be a game where we see starters in the fourth quarter for the majority of it. I don't think it'll be a 10-plus point game. I think Zion's going to be aggressive on the glass. I think he'll be aggressive looking to score the basketball. So I like him over 28.5 points and rebounds at minus 110.
You know what? I'm juggling lobsters because we should celebrate today. Happy 6-month anniversary, brother.
Oh, my gosh. Good
Juggling lobsters for the 6-month anniversary. It just came to me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Me thinking about Zion getting ripped in the gym as I'm listening to you talk, and Zion, and he's seeing Derek Queen drop 30 on the Joker. That might light a fire in his ass a little bit too.
100%.
The Pels are interesting. I didn't give it out here, but I attacked Dallas the other day with Karl Anthony Towns in that Knicks game, and like, what are they doing with their bigs? Like, I think they're trading people. Like Gafford and Lively, all of a sudden now that they need, like, is it a knee? Is it minutes restriction?
Injury.
Like,
yeah, it's odd.
I don't know, but it's weird when you really dig down on it. I don't know. Part of me thinking you keep people off their feet because it's going to be a house cleaning. But I wouldn't be shocked if one of their bigs doesn't go tonight. Third down for me, early kickoff in the Premiership. I believe this is a 7:30 a.m. A bangers and mash special. Burnley hosting Chelsea at Turf Moor. Chelsea's won 6 straight at Turf Moor, so there's that. Look, Burnley is a team that's going to be in a relegation battle all year. Sorry, JJ Watt.
Wait, who are you giving out here?
Am I wrong?
Your third down is Crystal Palace. Is that Burnley? I didn't know.
Oh, no. Because Burnley, I moved to overtime. I got a lot in my notes because originally I was going to do this maybe in the Friday night show. Okay. Yeah. Burnley, table that.
Wait.
That's going to be overtime. Yes, you're right.
Wait, who is Burnley? Chelsea?
Yes.
Okay. It's like a different language. I mean, I have
No, I know. Yeah, that's overtime.
I was trying to make sure Burnley wasn't a nickname for Crystal Palace.
No, they're playing. Chelsea is playing against Burnley at Turf Moor, Burnley's stadium. Stamford Bridge, the bridge is where Chelsea plays. I do have a soccer quiz coming for you in 4th and short, though. I'm going to test your memory. Oh, well, we might as well do this now, too, since I've already effed this segment up. Did you ask your dad about Billy Squire?
Oh, my God, I forgot. No.
You didn't ask him. No biggie.
I'm going to ask him today, actually. Billy Squire, I'll text him right now.
I guarantee he likes Bill. I'd be shocked if your dad doesn't like Billy Squire. He's a man of taste. Third down. This is not 7:30 in the morning, but it's like 9:30 tomorrow morning or 10, and we probably won't be on until this kicks off. Wolves, we fade the Wolves. Wolves are hosting Crystal Palace. Palace can score. Wolves cannot. Palace has the 5th best road record in the Premiership. 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses. Look, what have Wolves done at home? They lost 2-3 to Burnley. 1-1 draw. Leeds beat them 3-1 at Molineux. Everton beat them 3-2. They lost 4-0 to... I can't read my own handwriting. They had a 1-1 tie with Brentford. So, not great. Palace can score. Palace can score from the run of play. Palace can score off of set pieces. I don't know, guys. Wolves have allowed 14 goals at home already this year. They've got a -8 goal differential at home. They're going to be dropped. They're going back to the Championship. I think everybody knows it. And I've been impressed with Palace's attacking form. I think Palace can score in the first 30 minutes of this match. If they do, it might get a little lopsided. But we're just going to take the Eagles to win the match over Wolves, -105.
Yeah, 4th and short, we're going to go to one of our parlays that we do. We kind of throw around in the NBA. And it's been up and down with these, but we're going to continue to attack it. And I think we'll get we'll improve with it as the season goes on, as you can figure out more about minutes. Because right now, guys are still kind of spreading out. It'll be easier to find out when you have the set minutes for each player. But Zion Williamson, 4+ first quarter points. Evan Mobley, 4+ first quarter points, and Scotty Barnes, 2+ first quarter rebounds at +105. We'll get to Scotty Barnes a little bit in overtime. I know Jason and I, when we attacked the Wizards a few days ago, he liked Gobert, I liked Randall. Turned out we were both right because they both
the Wizards.
And that's how it is exactly with the Wizards. So I do think Scotty Barnes will have no issues. They're allowing the 2nd most rebounds per game in the first quarter over their last 5, which is just typical Wizards. Evan Mobley, 4+ first quarter points. Is Darius Garland going to play? I think. I'm not fully sure. Even if he does play, it's no hurt to Mobley in the first quarter scoring. He's going to pass the basketball. We know how good of a passer Garland is. Mobley has been very aggressive scoring the basketball this season, more than we've ever seen him. And Jared Allen's questionable. If he's out, again, we're doing the show early. If Jared Allen's out, it's even better for our prop there. And then Zion Williamson, 4+ first quarter points. I talked about it before. He might only play 5 or 6 minutes, but he's going to have 3 to 4, at least 3 to 4 shot attempts. He's aggressive. He likes finishing at the basket and showing other players he's stronger than them and tougher than them. You always like taking Zion because he's going to be aggressive. You just need him to finish. He can also get to the free throw line a lot of different ways. I'm expecting him to make 2 layups in this first quarter. So again, Zion Williamson, 4+ first quarter points. Evan Mobley 4+ first quarter points, and Scotty Barnes 2+ first quarter rebounds at plus 105.
Excellent. All right, we've got two plays in fourth and short. They are both early kickoffs in soccer tomorrow. We will start with our Bournemouth Cherries. We're not backing them to win. We're not backing them on the double this time. But we do like them to win the first half against the Hammers of West Ham. We're getting plus 120 on the Cherries to have the lead at the half. If you've been, look, this is almost an auto bet for us, and I hope you're following the trend as well, because we've been on it for about a month now. The Hammers concede first everywhere, anywhere, all the time. The opponent has scored first in 9 of the Hammers' 11 Premiership matches. They've been outscored 18-9 in those matches. Our Cherries, we know they like to attack, maybe a little more on the road than at home, a little more conservative at home, but the Cherries have scored first in 7 of their 11 Premiership matches. The Hammers, they've saved their season a little bit, and they've gotten better at home, where they weren't getting results. On the road, I still don't fancy them. Hammers have conceded first in 4 of their 5 road matches. They have yet to lead at the half on the road. They have been tied in 1 match at the half on the road. They've been behind in 3 of their 5 road matches at the half. They've been outscored in the first half on the road. 2 goals produced, 8 conceded. On the season, take home road out of it, the Hammers are just one of the worst first half sides in the Premiership. -7 overall goal differential in the first half, second worst in the Prem. Our Cherries have been solid at home. Our Cherries form did dip a little bit, but they had a tough run of it. Bunch of road games against some quality sides. We like them to get after it here and have a lead on the Hammers at the half. We're also going to the Bundesliga! Not to Bayern Munich. We're not getting too greedy on Bayern. We made our plays on Bayern. We're going to Leverkusen. Leverkusen is going to Wolfsburg. Beltway Ben, this is your soccer quiz. We talked about Wolfsburg probably 6-7 weeks ago when they faced the mighty Bayern Munich. Do you recall what Wolfsburg is famous for? The town of Wolfsburg. They produce something. They produce something that's known worldwide.
No, I don't remember.
It's an automobile. Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
Yes.
I was gonna say Volkswagen.
Yes, it was on the tip of your tongue. I could.
Well, I
could see it in your eyes.
You said it was an automobile. I was like, all right, it's probably Volkswagen, but I don't want to sound stupid, so I just kind of waited. And
it could have been. It could have been BMW, right? But that's Bavarian.
I'm not a big car guy either.
So that would be more in the south, down there near Munich. So anyway, we're taking Leverkusen to have the lead on Wolfsburg at the half. That is plus 150. Look, Leverkusen in the first half have scored 16 goals this season. Only the mighty Bayern Munich have more in the Premiership. They have conceded 7, but still one of the best first half goal differentials in the Prem. They've been solid on the road. Like, yes, they lost 3-0 at the Alliance to Bayern against Bayern's B team when Kompany sat Kane and those guys and effed us. But they're 9 goals scored to 7 allowed on the road otherwise against teams that aren't the mighty Bayern Munich. They also probably feel like they're back in the race, Beltway Ben, after Bayern finally dropped points before the international break. So they're not going to totally run the table. So you're going to come out of that international break attacking a little bit. Wolfsburg are terrible at home. 1 win, 2 draws, 3 losses. That's Wolfsburg at the half. Wolfsburg at the half at home. They have yet to lead. 6 goals scored, 11 allowed. Second worst first half goal differential at home in Die Bundesliga. They're not great in the first half outside of, in general, home or road splits. Leverkusen's a Champions League side. Leverkusen's going to be back in the Champions League. This is not the Leverkusen side of a year or two ago. But I still think it's good enough to have a 1-0 lead on Wolfsburg. I think they will attack here, and I think they will look at this as an opportunity to score multiple goals. So Leverkusen to lead at the half, plus 150.
Yeah, for overtime, we got a lot of different plays. We regularly don't do it. I don't do a million, but there's a lot of stuff that I like tonight, and I wanted to move it around and put it in a few different
A
ways.
lot of college basketball.
There is, and I didn't love enough of it. I did like Butler. I know we talked about it off air,
Yeah.
and then after we talked about it, I went back in and looked more, and I liked them. And then you wake up this morning, and they're minus 185, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
just wait, and maybe I'll throw them in on my own. But,
Yeah, it was minus 128 when you and I started talking
Yeah.
about it yesterday.
It's crazy, very crazy. But no, I like Evan Mobley, R.J. Barrett, and Zion Williamson 15+ points, and Amen Thompson 4+ assists, plus 129. We talked about Mobley before, even with Garland back. It's a good assist guy. Jared Allen's questionable. Mobley's been aggressive, looking to score, and he's gone over this in more than half of his games this season. I'm not worried there. R.J. Barrett, feel very good about his points tonight. We'll get to that next in overtime. 20+ points for him doesn't scare me, but 15 for sure does, and he's aggressive. He's always looking to score. Even in some of these games where they're up like 16 to 25 late in the fourth quarter, he always starts fourth quarters, so we should get at least 4 to 5 minutes from him, regardless of what the score is, unless the Wizards are down 35 in the fourth quarter, which I'm not completely ruling out. I mean, this is an awful basketball team, but I do think it'll be within, 20 to 25 to a point where he's going to play a few minutes in the fourth quarter. Zion Williamson, we talked about how aggressive he's been. And then Amen Thompson, 4+ assists. We've went after Amen in a lot of different ways with assists, especially this number. This is a tight game, a matchup against Denver. Now, they don't allow tons of assists to opposing teams, but when you look at how the Rockets run things and what role that he plays, 4 assists should be no issue against a team. Again, as good as they are defensively for Denver, they still are allowing like the 13th or 14th most assists per game to opposing teams. Now, that's not a ton, but for a guy like Amen Thompson, that shouldn't be an issue to get to 4. So for the listeners, Evan Mobley, R.J. Barrett, Zion Williamson 15+ points, and Amen Thompson 4+ assists, which you could get at plus 129. Now, I told you we were going to get to R.J. Barrett, 20+ points. I do like him a lot here in this spot, plus 105 R.J. Barrett, 20+ points. He's aggressive. He's a guy who's looking for a shot. Brandon Ingram could easily go for 30 against a bad defense in the Wizards. I think it's going to be an R.J. Barrett type of night. He likes to beat up on these teams. I took him a lot last year in matchups with a bad Wizards defense, and he would be aggressive. He gets to the free throw line, can shoot the 3 fine, will attack the basket, and as I said before, the beginning of fourth quarters, we usually see him on the court. So for a guy like Brandon Ingram, who goes out and plays 10 minutes in the third quarter, if they're up, 20+ points and they continue that lead in the fourth quarter, he's
Good
done.
night, Irene.
Right. And R.J. Barrett could be a part of that run for the first 5 to 6 minutes of the fourth quarter and then sit and be done. I won't have to worry about him not playing a minute because he started the fourth quarter and hopefully was a part of the big run to finish it. So we do like
I'll
R.J.
tell you
Barrett.
real quick another reason why I like that. We watch a lot of the Wizards, so you people don't have to. The Wizards are a naive basketball team. They give away so many stupid fouls.
Yeah.
They get people in the bonus way quicker than they should. And because they don't have any defensive stoppers, they don't get the benefit of the doubt from the officials. Like they don't get calls. 50-50 stuff doesn't go their way. So when they face teams that have multiple people who can beat you off the dribble and drive to the lane and teams that are paint-producing teams like Toronto, they go to the line a lot. Now you got to make them.
Yeah, and one thing about R.J. Barrett, like there's a lot of guys who are not selfish in transition and looking for their teammate. R.J. Barrett, when he has it, he's taking it to the left side and
He's
it's going
finishing.
up to the basket. He's going to his left side, dominant hand, and trying to finish the bucket. So that's one thing you always like with R.J. Barrett. Not calling him a selfish player, but he does look to get his. Now, the next play. Scotty Barnes, 10+ rebounds at plus 136.
You are all over this game. I love it.
I just attack the Wizards when you can.
Attack
and
the
there's still
Wizards.
somewhat
Dude,
value.
tomorrow is,
No, the
I
back-to-back.
don't care who the Bulls play.
No, I feel that for sure. But no, I like Scotty Barnes, 10+ rebounds here, plus 136. Was over this in 5 of his first 7 games this month. Now you got guys dealing with injury. Jason talked about it with Poto earlier and some different things. But even in some of those matchups where Poto's played, Scotty Barnes has still been able to get 10+ rebounds. This is an aggressive guy. He's a power forward. He can play it all, really. I mean, that's was the big thing when they drafted him. He can play 1 through 5. He can defend 1 through 5, a lot of different things like that. But he's aggressive on the glass. And we know against the Wizards, as many shots as they chuck and as many misses as they have, there will be a lot of opportunity. I talked about it before. Jason and I went for Randall. Jason went with Gobert. Turns out both guys did their job, and Randall ended up with 10+ as well. Gobert did. We talked about this weeks ago when we were workshopping that Cleveland or the Houston Wizards
The Rockets game.
Yeah. We were talking about it, and we're like, well, I like this guy, you like this guy. And we're talking, it's like, well, if you look at every matchup they've had, 2 or more guys have had 10+ rebounds against them. Like, that's the normal against the Wizards. It's how things work. So I think there's a good shot that both guys get 10+ tonight, and I'm taking Scotty Barnes here for 10+ because with his aggressiveness and how he's going to be guarded against these Wizards, I do think there will be a lot of opportunities for him to grab 10 plus boards. Now, a half a unit here, choppy, have not went to choppy in a while. We do have a choppy play for RJ Barrett and Scotty Barnes. Both of those plays parlayed, half a unit, plus 345. RJ Barrett, 20 plus points. Scotty Barnes, 10 plus rebounds. They're both plus money to get us to plus 345. It's just a half unit, just because I think, quite honestly, it's going to be a blowout. All of these guys are going to be getting theirs in the stat category. And like, some of these guys still want to get paid. You know what I mean? Like, you do have to put up some of these numbers, especially in these matchups in today's day and age. So those are the NBA plays. And I always have to go with one college football. We had a few games tonight. I did want to give out a regular play. It's not a parlay. Florida State over 242.5 receiving yards at minus 114. Matchup with NC State tonight. I just really am not buying what NC State's defense is. Very good against the run, but they're struggling big time against the pass. When you look at Power 4 teams and how they've been throwing the football against them, it's massive. They're one of the worst passing defenses in the Power 4. Thomas Castellanos, he's a run-first quarterback. We've seen that. Lately, like, he looks like he wants to throw the football. He's not taking out with his legs as much as other running quarterbacks in college football. He will throw the ball down the field. And Florida State's passing offense has really been like a roller coaster this year. Hasn't been going enough. This is an NC State defense you should be able to take advantage of. Somehow Florida State's a 5.5 point favorite in the game. I don't know that they're going to be winning. It wouldn't surprise me if they were down playing from behind. But either way, I think we're going to see a lot of passing offense from Florida State tonight. So again, Florida State over 242.5 receiving yards at minus 114.
All righty. Overtime plays for me. The one I teased before. Chelsea at Burnley. Look, Burnley, if you look at their home record, it looks okay. But they've faced a lot of shite. And when they faced Arsenal, they never touched the ball. They never threatened inside the 18. They could not score. When they hosted Liverpool, same thing. Styles make fights, as my buddy Bart Scott once said. Chelsea plays big-time possession football. They're a top 5 Premiership team in terms of possession. Burnley doesn't see the ball at all. And they're not great off set pieces. And I'm sorry, Chelsea's not scared to go into Turf Moor where they've won 6 straight times. Chelsea have buckled down defensively. I also still think they're good for at least 2 goals against the Burnley side that's going to be in a relegation fight. So Chelsea to win the match and score at least twice, minus 143. We also are on, and the Blues have scored at least twice in 3 of their 5 road games. So there's that. We're also on Chelsea to win to 0. Means Chelsea wins. They do not concede a goal in the process at plus 137. If Burnley have to play from behind, they're not going to have a lot of ideas. Chelsea's in the thick of the fight for the Prem still, and certainly in line for a return to the Champions League. And I don't think they let their foot off the gas here with a healthy side returning from international break. So there's that. We also wanted to get to an NFL play because a lot of the plays we're already on in the NFL are losing value because that's how it works. But we wanted to give this one out because we think it really has potential to lose value by tomorrow. Jared Goff to throw at least 2 passing touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs to score a touchdown. And the Lions to score 31 points. This is plus 160. They're playing the Giants. Jackson Dart's coming back, which means the Giants have a chance to score points, which means all the more reason for Dan Campbell to keep chasing points. The last 13 times the Lions have lost a football game, they have won the following week, and they have averaged 34 points per game in the process. The Lions are scoring over 32 points a game at home on average this season. Excuse me. And when they face bad defenses, they eviscerate them. Jared Goff has always thrown at least 1 passing touchdown in all of his home games, pretty much as a Lion. And again, 2 against that Giants defense, with Dart maybe scoring some points and pushing things a little bit. We see that happening. Gibbs has 41 touchdowns in his last 41 games. Like, that is what it is. The Giants have allowed 15 rushing touchdowns. The Giants allow 5 a carry. So maybe Goff doesn't have to throw it as much. But look, Dan Campbell's pulling the strings now. Dan Campbell wants to run up these box scores and make everybody feel good about Dan Campbell pulling the strings. Montgomery's clearly the secondary back. Gibbs might catch that touchdown from Goff, but you can't tell me after Goff's looked shaky 2 of the last 4 that Dan Campbell's not going to look to build him up here. So Goff 2 or more passing touchdowns. Lions score 31 points. Gibbs fulfills his birthright and gets in the end zone. Plus 165. I think we covered everything. Another long show. We've been long this week.
Good.
There's a lot going on.
More talk
It's
for
the
the
equinox.
listeners.
It's the equinox, Ben.
It is.
And we found a new slogan for our show. We watch the Wizards so you don't have to.
That is, when you said that, I actually kind of.
It's true.
I didn't know it's
I bet there's no other betting show that is. And trust me, it's smart what we're doing, because go look how they're pricing 118.5 team total for tonight, Toronto. Tomorrow when they put it up for the Bulls, I bet you can't even get 118.5.
And also, like, with the Wizards and how things go, like, we've been up and down. Like, I was red hot earlier in the year. We're going down a little bit. We've been up and down. The one, like, consistent thing we've had is attacking the Wizards. We've had a lot of success with it. Like, when we're losing, we're still winning on Wizards games. It's pretty crazy.
I'll tell you guys this now, because these lines, I'm not sure when these lines will populate with the Wizards tonight, but this was an auto bet for me last year. The Wizards on back-to-back games since the start of last year are 4-12 against the spread. Their average margin of victory, their average margin of defeat, 19.5 points. They have failed to cover those 16 games on average by 8.8 points. Also, visiting team over the team total in the second of back-to-back against the Wizards. Now, I love this. It's an auto when the other team hasn't played the night before. In this case, Chicago will. But Chicago's not traveling. Chicago's at home. The Wizards are traveling to them. We will be on the Bulls tomorrow. Ben, let everybody know, I guess, how it's going here. I gotta, I've stabilized. Now we gotta start stacking. And yeah, happy 6-month anniversary to the OGs, to Jeff Vreeland and Ryan Mills and Mark Feinsand. We leaving anybody out?
No.
The late great Dr. Jerry Aloysius Coleman.
Yes, that's true. There's a lot of OGs. Like, there's a select few real ones, and there's also
Katie Mox,
people who've come across. Oh yes,
Eric Casillas.
Yes. EK every Monday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and look, we are putting stuff in. There's stuff we don't do on the show that are in the Super Discord. So go to my bio, go to Ben's bio. There's a link to the Super Sports Betting Discord. You can check us out there. So again, happy 6-month anniversary. We're thinking 10 a.m. tomorrow. If Mateo's basketball schedule changes again, we'll let you know on Twitter. Ben and I will adjust. But hopefully 10 a.m. tomorrow, 11 a.m. on Sunday. And let's have some winners tonight, guys. Let's eat some lobsters.